Today, we are going to go over how AI just beat humans at using a computer, and this is specifically about GPT 5.4 and the state of the art of vibe coding and the future of white collar work, because it may be in danger. To start off, the GPT 5.4 reached a score of 75%. It is natively using computer use, so it is a bit different from other models that had to access it via tools and a lot of information to know how to use them. And humans perform on this benchmark 72%, so AI is ahead of humans using a computer. And this is the future of white collar jobs because what already happened to developers is kind of tough to swallow because just like Andrew Carpe tweeted on another day, he noticed that since November, developers don't need to code anymore. Basically, AI has the capability of coding everything by itself, and you just have to manage it to make things correctly, build the features you want, and keep it in check. And this is a prediction from Gartner. So 60% of all new software code will be AI generated by the end of 2026. And this actually may be an underestimate because it is basically producing, I believe it is more than 60% right now. And it is the beginning of 2026. So by the end, it will be a lot more than 60%. What this GPT 5.4 computer use actually changes. So there was a claim of the Microsoft AI chief in February of this year that in 18 months, all white collar jobs will be automated. And if we look up at the GPT 5.4 paper, I don't even think it will be in 18 months. Maybe all of it, yeah, maybe 18 months, but most of it will be automated very, very fast. So we can see it benchmarks in the knowledge work. So it basically is better than industry experts, and it can operate spreadsheets, documents, presentations. It is getting better at model after model. And if we look at this computer use and vision, we can see that it is the first general purpose model with native computer use capabilities. And this basically means if you come here on the computer use documentation, it just means that it was trained with computer use how to use a computer use tools. So it uses less tools, less tool calling, and less tokens. It is better at computer use essentially. And if we look at this state of the art GPT-4, 75% success rate, and GPT 5.2 was less than 50%, so it is a huge increase, and humans was 72%. So we can see right here the accuracy, so it is 75%, and the number of tools yield is actually very lower because it natively knows computer use, and you can see right here it can basically behave like a white collar worker. So you can send emails and book data entry. This is very, very interesting because it does this super fast. And this is basically all done with Playwright and GPT 5.4. And a lot of people just do this, like just copy things from one place to another, and AI just can do this now. So this job can just be automated. So as Microsoft AI chief predicted, in 18 months, all white collar work is automated. So I believe, yeah, this is probably something that is relatively correct. So accounting, legal, marketing, project management, these are all on the table. So these are all probably going to change because today we already have the technology for automating these tasks. So if we come here on the Anthropic paper about labor market impacts, we can see right here on this graph. So we have the theoretical AI coverage and observed AI coverage. So we can see right here that the AI coverage in these kinds of industries, so legal, education, social services, business and finance, and computer and math, management, office and admin, sales, is all underperformed. The state of AI now is much more capable of it is actually doing. The only thing we're missing here are basically the tools and the knowledge how to use it. We've seen a lot of improvements with OpenClaw, and we are seeing with Cloud Code, Codex, and all of these agentic workflows that are coming out. So we are seeing a lot of advancements, and it isn't actually just the model; it is the tooling that we need to improve. So we have to improve to improve the AI capability. So it isn't just a model anymore, is what I'm trying to say. And what this basically means is that if you use AI in any of these businesses, you can just try to create processes for it and it will thrive. But one thing that still is an issue if you are actively using it is to differentiate what is good and what is bad. So it doesn't have really good metrics to figure this out. So if you just tell, oh, make this website better, it doesn't know what better is. Because better can be anything for it. Because it knows a lot about a lot of things. So it better in what aspect? So it's basically a prompting kind of problem. So we need to have the better tools. We need to have the better prompting to generate the consistent results every time and to instruct it what better is. Because in our head, better is very clear what it is, but for the AI, it isn't. So it is our problem to figure out how to pass it on to the AI. And once we do that, we can basically create an AI that has that definition and basically can pass on to other AIs to do stuff. So using a website agency as an example, so an agency that just builds websites for businesses, we have basically two sectors, that is the proposal sector and the active contract sector. So, and this can be operated by a team, by a single person, or anything like this. So the proposal, we basically have sometimes we'll have a meeting or a call or a web phone call or some text to explain what the website would be, and then the person has to generate a proposal, and this already can be automated. So we already have operating in many businesses. So we have a text or a meeting notes or a phone call, and then AI just generate a generic and templated proposal for this kind of contract. And of course, the person behind the business usually look it up and judge the pricing and approve to send it to the customer or not. But today we have the opportunity of have the AI operating active contracts. So it isn't limited by the model anymore. It is limited by our tools and how we use it. So in active contracts, we will still have these text meeting notes, probably not phone call, but text and meeting notes. And you would pass on to the AI. So this would be managed by AI. So a single manager could have many AI website builders. So it could basically take these notes and send them to the website builders. And then after the website is done, it basically sends the message that is saying it is done. And then the manager would evaluate if it is a nice website, if it is meeting the criteria that the client asked for. And of course, this is the hardest part, because the building of the website is very, very straightforward nowadays. AI can manage it all. But the saying if it is good or bad, it's still kind of fuzzy for the AI. So this is what we need to figure it out. But essentially, we can automate this entire flow with the models that we have today. And this is pretty interesting because we can just integrate this to send to the client a demo and then get the feedback and then send the feedback back to the builder and then have this loop until the website is done. And basically the owner of this business don't have to do anything besides this part to these two parts. There are basically, you need to be a human to talk to other humans and sell them stuff. Yeah, but this entire workflow can be automated right now We just need to figure out the tools and the prompting. And that's just a simple website builder workflow that I presented as an example. And this will be happening with the accounting, legal, marketing, project management, basically all kinds of businesses. So the Anthropic report is exactly what I showed you, that the models are much capable of what they are doing now. And with this kind of improvement with computer use, it will be much easier. Of course, it isn't very cheap. So GPT 5.4 is $5 to input and 15 or 22 for output, but it is cheaper than the Cloud Opus 4.6, for example. So it isn't that pricey, but it isn't exactly cheap to perform this right now. So this is a Goldman Sachs estimate that 300 million jobs are basically at risk. We've already seen some jobs declining over time because of the increase of productivity using AI and what to do about it. So we can see right here some takeaways that we have from this video. So AI passed the human computer use benchmark. There are 40% fewer entry-level coding jobs in 1 year. So this kind of entry level is the most affected right now because basically a senior engineer can just perform much better using AI. It can just output more and more code, and the companies don't need more engineers for coding if the AI is going to do all the work. So it is just basically the productivity of AI that did this. And of course, we had this 18 months Microsoft timeline for white collar automation, and every repetitive computer task is now automatable with the computer use. And move up the stack, system thinking beats syntax writing. So we are moving from just a single prompt to a system like I showed in an example that basically can talk to, it has an agent that can differentiate what is good and what's bad and to make other agents perform tasks for it. And then you create a system of agents that can basically do entire department's work, and you will have just a single person managing all of these agents, all of these manager agents, and basically have infinite productivity. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and if you have any kind of opinion on the matter, especially on the economy of the future, you can drop down in the comments below, because this is a pretty interesting topic, and seeing all these advancements so early this year, we are much closer to all these things than people might think.